Hello, third grade, and welcome to Lesson 2 in Social Studies. This lesson is titled, How Does My Community Fit In with My Country? So we're going to learn about the different regions of the United States in this lesson. We have a few pictures for you here. We have the Southeast, the Northeast, the Midwest, and the Southwest. Now we're going to go ahead and open up to page 16 and begin reading over there. Always read your blue bars first. These are the ones in the margins on the right side and the left side of those two pages. For number 1, it says inspect. Read the title. What do you think this text will be about? Circle the words you don't know. Underline clues that help you answer the following questions. Why do many people go to visit the Gateway Arch? Why was the arch built? What does the arch look like? For number 2, it says find evidence. Look at the pictures, reread the text. What did you learn about the Gateway Arch that you did not learn from the pictures? Underline details that describe the way the arch is built. For number 3, make connections. Talk. Turn back to page 15. Find the pictures that show the Midwest and the West. What does the Gateway Arch help you understand about how these regions are connected? So let's go ahead and start with our reading. The title of this section is Going West. The Gateway Arch is located in St. Louis, Missouri. The arch is named for the role St. Louis played as the gateway to the West in the 1800s. Many people who traveled to the West started their journey in the Midwestern city. The arch reaches 630 feet across and stands 630 feet tall. That is twice the height of the Statue of Liberty. It's made of 5,199 tons of steel. That's over 1 million pounds. The arch can sway up to 18 inches in high winds. The Gateway Arch is part of the Jefferson National Expansion Memorial. This place honors President Thomas Jefferson's plan to make the country larger. He wanted Americans to settle in the land to the west. The arch also honors the people who set out from St. Louis to reach the West. Underneath the arch, a museum tells visitors the story of the westward expansion. 6 areas feature interactive exhibits that celebrate the spirit of those who made their journey west. Visitors can ride in a special train through a tube to the top of the arch. The arch has 16 windows that face east and 16 windows that face west. People can look out to the city and the surrounding land. Monuments help us to understand the role history plays in everyday life. An arch is a type of doorway. Think about the choice to make a monument to the journey westward by building such a structure. Why do you think this is important? So go through, make sure you're circling any words that you don't understand, underline the clues that tell you why did many people go to visit the Gateway Arch, why was it built, and what does the arch look like? Then we're going to move on and take a look at page 18, where it says explore main idea and details. Topic is what a piece of writing is about. The main idea is the most important point that the author makes about a topic. Details tell about the main idea. Read the text once all the way through. This will help you understand what the text is about. Number 2, see if there's a sentence that states the main idea. This is often the first sentence of a paragraph. Sometimes other sentences in a paragraph can state the main idea. Number 3, now look for details. Sentences with details give more information about the main idea. Based on the text you read, work with your class to complete the chart below. So the topic they gave us is the Gateway Arch. We're going to figure out what the main idea is from the previous pages and write all of the details that we learned to help support that idea. For page 19, we're going to be looking in our textbook on pages 18 to 29. So we're going to open up our research companion to those pages, and we're going to use our investigative skills to look for text evidence. That means we're going to look for information in the writing that tells us what the main idea and details are about the 5 main regions of the United States. We're going to use this graphic organizer to help organize our ideas and our writing. So the 5 regions we have are the Northeast, the Southeast, the Midwest, the Southwest, and the Western regions of the United States. So we're going to flip over to our textbook, over to page 18, and we'll see that we start on lesson 2 over there. Same title, how does my community fit with my country? What is a region? Think about where you live. Is it hilly or flat? Do you live near an ocean or a river? Is it cloudy, foggy, or sunny most of the time? Your answer will depend on the region where you live. A region is an area of land with certain features that make it different from other areas. Each region has its own unique land and water features, as well as its own unique climate. Climate is the weather a place has over a long period of time. So when we're talking about climate, we're not talking about the weather from day to day, where one day may be warm and another day may be rainy and cold. We're talking about what it's like most of the time. So usually if you think of a region that has a lot of deserts in it, you think of a place that's usually hot and dry, even though every now and then you'll get a cooler day, every now and then you'll get a rainy day. But the overall weather, what it's like most of the time, is what we're talking about when we talk about climate. The United States has 5 main regions. These 5 regions are the Northeast, the Southeast, the Midwest, the West, and the Southwest.
Okay, so the 5 regions of the United States that we were talking about, you can see on this map that's on page 19. We have them color coded, and if you look at the map key right here, it shows you what region is which region is labeled with each color. So we have our Midwest is labeled in green, our Northeast is labeled in this golden yellow color, our Southeast is brown, our Southwest is purple, and our Western region is the orange states over here. So the features of each region affect how people live in that region. People who live in a place with a cold climate need different kinds of clothes and different kinds of houses than people who live where it's warm. Climate also makes a difference in the way people have fun. People who live along the coast might enjoy the beach. People who live in the mountains might ski or hike. And people who live in a hot, dry desert might go rock climbing. Each community provides people with different ways to live, work, and play. So based on where you are, your lifestyle is going to be different. What you do for fun, what kind of food you have available to you, what kind of home you live in, the kind of clothing you need to wear, the kind of shelter that you have. All of those are different based on the area that you're in. Now we're going to get into each individual region. So when you switch back to your workbook page, you can copy down the main idea and details that you learned about that region from the reading. Now for the Northeast, we're going to go ahead and read this section. 11 states make up the Northeast. They are Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, New Jersey, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Delaware, New Jersey, Maryland, and Pennsylvania. Canada borders a region to the north. The Atlantic Ocean borders the region to the east. 2 U.S. regions also border the Northeast, the Midwest and the West, the Midwest to the west and the Southeast to the south. So those are the regions that touch or share a border with the northeastern region of the United States. Thousands of years ago, Native Americans began to settle in what is now the Northeast. In fact, Native American peoples were the first to settle in all of the US regions. Europeans began to settle in the Northeast in the early 1600s. All of the states in the region were among the original 13 colonies of the United States. However, Maine was part of Massachusetts at the time. Vermont was part of New York. Today, people have come from all over the world to live, work, and play in the Northeast. Many people in the region live in large urban areas such as Boston, Philadelphia, and Pittsburgh. Many also live in New York City, which is the biggest city in the United States. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the map that we have here, the Northeast region. You can see the names of all of the states. You can see our map scale up here in the corner. The states are different colors, so you can tell them apart. And we're going to take a look at our infographic over here on the side that talks about population density. So when we're talking about population density, we're talking about the number of people who live in a particular amount of space. So places that are more dense have more people living in them. Places that have a less dense population have fewer people living in them. Look at the infographic. It shows the population density of Connecticut in the Northeast and Oklahoma in the Southwest. Population density means the number of people living per square mile of land. The Northeast is the most densely populated region of the country. People in the Northeast have many kinds of jobs. Some people work in business, manufacturing, or technology. Others work in fishing, farming, mining, or forestry. Still others work in arts or education. The Northeast is home to many of the nation's oldest universities, such as Harvard University and Yale University. People from around the world visit communities in the Northeast. They come to see monuments such as the Statue of Liberty and the Liberty Bell. They enjoy the museums, parks, and beaches. These visitors make more jobs for the people who live in the Northeast. Some of those jobs are in food service, hotels, and transportation. So this is our information about the Northeast. We can go ahead and flip back to your graphic organizer in your workbook and start to fill in information that you found. The Southeast region. There are 12 states in the Southeast. They are Virginia, West Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, and Louisiana. The Atlantic Ocean sits to the east of this region. The Gulf of Mexico lies to the south. Two other regions, the Southwest to the west and the Midwest to the north, also border the Southeast. The oldest European settlement in the United States is in the Southeast. Explorers from Spain founded St. Augustine, Florida in 1565. Later in 1607, Jamestown, Virginia became the first permanent English settlement in North America. Virginia was one of the original 13 colonies of the United States. North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia were among the original 13 colonies. So let's take a look at our map over here of the southeastern states. You can see all of them again, color-coded. We can see our map scale over here. We can look at the state that is the farthest south is Florida. Now, Florida is considered a peninsula because it sticks out into the water. It's surrounded by water on all sides except one. So you can see to the right, to the left, and to the bottom is all surrounded by water. It's only attached to the rest of the United States from the top. The Southeast's hot summers and warm to cool winters make the region ideal for farming. Cotton, peanuts, and tobacco grow in the Southeast. Soybeans, wheat, oats, and hay grow here too. Many fruits and vegetables also grow on farms there, including apples, oranges, watermelon, peaches, potatoes, tomatoes, and pumpkins. People in the Southeast also work in fishing, tourism, business, and manufacturing. Many people have jobs making cars, trucks, buses, trains, and airplanes. Many people visit the Southeast. They come to enjoy water sports, hike, and visit museums and monuments. They also enjoy the state and national parks and the many amusement parks in this region. Did you know? Savannah, Georgia was originally laid out in a square and grid pattern. In the center of each section, it's a square. The roads that border the square to the north and south were divided into 10 large lots. Homes were built on these lots. Public buildings, such as churches or courthouses, were built on the roads and on the east and west sides of the square. Today, the squares provide green spaces for people. The squares have gardens and park areas. The Midwest. Midwest is the center of the continental United States. There are 12 states in this region. They are Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, Illinois, Missouri, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, Kansas, Nebraska, South Dakota, and North Dakota. Immigrants and people from the Northeast settle in the Midwest. An immigrant is a person who moves from one country to live in another country. At first, the people settled along the canals and waterways in what would become Ohio, Indiana, Michigan, Illinois, and Wisconsin. By the mid 1800s, people began to settle in states that are part of the Great Plains. By 1890, Chicago, Illinois was the second biggest city in the country. So pay attention to the map here. We learned from this region that most people will live in the areas around water, and that was essential for people so that they could have access to water, to food, transportation if they were moving around by boat. The Midwest is known as the nation's breadbasket and the Corn Belt. This is because the region has good soil and weather for farming. The growing season is long. Farmers can grow corn, wheat, soybeans, and vegetables. Their crops are sold around the country and around the world. Many people are also work in manufacturing. About 30% of the manufacturing done in the United States is done in the Midwest. The region is well known for making cars. Citizenship. A good citizen takes action and to make his or her community strong. The Midwest is very snowy. Look at the people in the picture helping each other shovel the snow from the sidewalks and driveways. Are they being good citizens? Think about your community. What action can you take to help make your community stronger? Now for the region of the Southwest. The Southwest is a US region with the fewest states in it. Only 4 states belong to this region. They are Texas, Oklahoma, New Mexico, and Arizona. The Southwest is bordered by the Southeast to the east. The Gulf of Mexico and Mexico border the region to the south, and the West runs along the west and northern borders. The Midwest lies to the north. Many groups have settled in the Southwest. Native American peoples have lived in this region for thousands of years. Europeans began to explore and settle in the Southwest in the late 1500s. In the 1800s, immigrants and people from states to the east came to this region. So go ahead and take a look at the map. Look at the states that we have there. So these are some of our larger states that you're seeing in this region, but you know that this region has the fewest number of states in it, holding just 4 states for the entire region, where the other ones had several more. Today, there are large areas, large open spaces in the region. Most of the people in the Southwest live in urban areas such as Houston, Oklahoma City, Albuquerque, and Phoenix. Many people in the Southwest work in jobs based in land resources in each state. In Texas and Oklahoma, many people grow cotton, raise cattle, and remove oil from the underground. Many people in New Mexico work in tourism. Many people in Arizona have jobs in farming, manufacturing, and tourism. Copper mining is especially important in Arizona. Visitors come to the Southwest to enjoy the region's environment. People can hike in the mountains and see the rock formations in the deserts. They also come to fish, camp, and attend local festivals and rodeos. Many people visit Carlsbad Caverns in New Mexico and the Grand Canyon in Arizona. People can also learn about the history of the region at places such as the Alamo in San Antonio, Texas. Did you know the Grand Canyon is located in northwest Arizona? A canyon is a deep valley with steep sides. Often a river or stream flows through the canyon. The Colorado River runs through the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon stretches a distance of about 270 miles. Its width ranges from about 175 yards to 18 miles. In some places, the canyon is more than a mile deep. Each year, millions of people visit the Grand Canyon. They come to hike on trails or ride mules into the canyon and ride rafts on the Colorado River. Now we're going to get into our last region, which is the Western region. So again, take a look at the map. It'll show you the states that are part of the Western region. 11 states belong to the region 11 states belong to the region known as the West. The Pacific Ocean The Pacific Coast states include Washington, Oregon, and California. Hawaii is in a group of islands surrounded by the Pacific Ocean. Canada separates Alaska from the connected United States. Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, Utah, and Nevada are inland states. In the early 1800s, settlers from the east traveled the Oregon and California trails. By the mid-1800s, the railroads reached west. This brought more people. The discovery of gold in California caused the largest movement of people in US history. Hawaii is located on shipping routes. Sailors stayed on the islands for the winter. News of the island spread. People from all over the world moved there. Most people in the West live in urban areas. However, in some states, people live far apart from each other. Many people work in tourism, fishing, farming, and ranching. Jobs and technology bring people to the West Coast. Then and now. The settlement of the West. Communities along the West changed as more people settled in them. San Francisco is one community that has changed. It started as a tiny settlement near the coast, but San Francisco grew quickly during the mid-1800s. Gold seekers from all over the world came to try and strike it rich. Other people came to San Francisco to start businesses that sold tools and other things to the miners. San Francisco is now one of California's largest cities. So again, we have our map over here of the Western region. You can see all of the states. Washington, Oregon, and California are the states that sit along the Pacific Ocean over here. The rest of these are considered inland states. That means they're away from the ocean. And we have Alaska and Hawaii. So this takes us to the end of the reading for this section. Go ahead and head back to your workbook and complete your graphic organizer. So what was the main thing you learned about each one of the regions and extra details to support that main idea? Make sure to use complete sentences in your best handwriting. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day, third grade. Take care. Bye-bye.